Hello, Szewczaks. This is me, Maja Szewczak, and welcome to Idea Sunday. I cannot believe that time has been passing so quickly. We're in April already. So I've decided to start the April with a flower and maybe turn it into something in the doll house that is unusual for a flower, and even make it completely unrecognizable in the end. Before I started the makeover, with the scissors I tried to see, what if I break the petals off with scissors, and I actually broke it into 3 pieces. We are not going to put it back together. We're going to be creative and rearrange the pieces, just like it was intentional to break it like this. Well, actually, make it 4 pieces instead of 3. Trust me, it will work in the end. And these 4 broken pieces did require a bit of thinking. We're not going to put it back together to its original form, but we are going to try to make something out of it. But I like these colors, so we are not going to change the colors of it. I will just overnight think about what they can make for the dolls, and I will be back when I come up with something to fix these 4 broken pieces, like fix but with a twist. I thought about this. I played with the pieces because playing with the pieces actually helps me come up with a great idea. And I think we're going to turn it into a coin purse. But what about these pieces, you ask? We are not using these, just like I didn't use this pineapple for the heart-shaped pineapple bird. I've just cut off the green part and glued it onto the pink heart, so that's why. And this is my discarded cabochon part bottle, so back the pineapple goes into the discarded until I come up with an idea for it. Same with these 2 pieces because we are not using them today. And this is my bottle of discarded cabochon parts. Anyways, we're going to use these to make a coin purse with Nicholas Mellow's Kayla character on it. What I'm going to do first is trim them down until they look right. I lost the pink piece, but that's okay. I still have this as my backup plan. So let's glue these pieces together for the coin purse. However, it will not be able to open. But if it was, then it wouldn't be very functional because of its size and scale. So now, to complete it, we're going to add a pink bead to balance out the color palette. Still going with the blue and pink for it. So, just like this. Since I'm making this Kayla Nicholas Mellow's Blue Lychee Mallow Cat coin purse, I'm going to use sequins, going to pick out the blue ones, and I'm going to glue them to the coin purse. I actually used the silver sequins to add the ears. I can always color it blue after it dries. And that's Kayla on the coin purse. I was actually going to keep the original colors, but the 3D enamel effects make it look darker. So I think I need to mix acrylic paints as color match to this blue as possible. So the whole idea of keeping the colors could still work, but I'm not going to do it on Kayla, but the coin purse itself. I did mix acrylic paint in that pastel blue, and it is very close, if not similar or the same color as the original. So I'm going to paint over the dark areas, excluding this one, in that acrylic paint. I think Kayla is blending in too much. So when it dries, I'm going to darken up the blue a little bit more. So I thought about how to make the Kayla head blend in less with the pastel blue. And I thought about this and what if I give it a slight green tint? Like I'm not making it green, but still blue. So that's my ratio. It's going to be 1 yellow to 35 blue ones. This ratio will keep it blue, but the tint of green will be just so slight you wouldn't even notice that I've added in that one dot of yellow in it. This is how I'm going to mix these 3D enamel effects. Let's mix. Well, it is a slightly more teal, but I still want it a little bit darker so Kayla would be more visible in the coin purse. Maybe just a very small dot of black, but be careful if you add too much black into it. will look black, and I don't want it to look black, just want to darken the blue. That's it. And this is the 3D enamel effects with just a really slight dot of black added to it. Well, I didn't want the blue to be too dark or just look straight up black. I only added this amount of black 3D enamel effects because these 3D enamel effect blacks are really strong. So that's why I have to watch the amount I use when I'm mixing 3D enamel effects, because if I add in too much, then there's no going back to blue or pink or purple. It's going to be black. Anyways, I'm going to paint it on Kayla in the coin purse, but these 3D enamel effects, it's always good to have advice. That's a good advice when you're going to mix these. From this brand, be careful. The 3D enamel effect black is so strong, have to use like a minimal amount of it as possible. Anyways, let's get back to making the coin purse. The next day, I went back to it to look at it, and Kayla is now so much of a dark blue that it's hard to see her eyes, nose and mouth. So I will add more glitter glue to make the distinction between her eyes, mouth and nose more visible. And here is the sunlight in my room already coming in. Spring is coming. Spring is slowly coming in Northern Ireland, and there is like in my garden the flowers starting to bloom and strawberries are starting to bloom and everything. Frogs in the pond started to lay eggs. So that's what's been happening. And more sunshine. So I have to watch my lighting in my room when I'm filming my Idea Sunday videos and other videos. That looks better, but it still needs to dry. I will come back to it when it dries. The Northern Ireland winter has been colder than usual, so now even though it's 9 degrees Celsius in Northern Ireland, it feels like 14 or 15 due to the winter, at least for me. No, it's 9, but it's like feels like 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's let it dry. Ta-da! I like the contrast of the pastel blue coin purse and the darker blue Kayla. And yes, I can still see her eyes, nose, but maybe I'll fix her mouth a bit. There I can also see the mouth and everything. But Here's an uneven spot. What do I do with it? Should I leave it like this, or should I add another Kayla-like element to cover this uneven spot that does not look like Kayla, more of the flower that it used to look like before I turned it into a coin purse? So I need to think. And I think some blue flowers would cover up this unevenness. When it's like this, at least make it pretty. The flowers have been added, let it dry. The flowers have dried and Kayla looks really sparkly like a blue lychee mallow. And I think I'll stop there. If I do any more to it, it will just look like too much. Anyways, I like the contrast between the darker blue and the pastel blue, and there's some pink there, and everything exceeded all expectations for the coin purse. So the best thing to do is play around without much procrastination about what is it going to look like. Well, procrastinating less on how it's going to look like when finished and thinking more about it and playing with the pieces actually helps me, because playing with the pieces actually helps me come up with a great idea sometimes. This can depend on what I'm trying to do, but still that's what works. And I did keep the original pastel blue that I liked, and some pink in there too. There was originally pink, but decided to still keep the pink without removing it, and it all worked out well. So now, let's see the before and after pictures of it. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, Szewczaks!